Hey guys, well, we just returned home from the Warbirds and Classics over Michigan. Really good event. As usual, we had one day that was not good, but that's why we do 3-day events, to be honest with you. So this is Sunday, and this is a very special day. At least we're extremely hoping. What we're looking at here is Chuck Hamilton's Dave Andersen design Hurricane. There are only a few of these out there right now. Plans are available. And I've been following Chuck on the build of this airplane for quite some time. This is not a typical throw together model. As you can see, as we get a little bit closer here, when looking at it up close, you cannot tell that it's a model. It looks like the full-size aircraft. And the reason for that is this is built with the intent to fly in competition. So it's built to a higher standard than your average model, which takes quite a bit of time. And today we're gonna be hopefully seeing the maiden flight. And what's the power system, Chuck?
The engine power frame is a Block 124 stroke inline. It's a Spectrum high voltage, power safe 20 channel system running on two 4000 7.4 volt light polys, which is the system batteries. The ignition batteries only need to be a 2000. And then it has a complete light system, lights and all that. So
Okay.
that's the complete power pack. It sits up here. Everything I need to do is up here. The receiver sits actually behind the pilot, tucked away. Shouldn't need anything. I should be able to control everything I need to from here.
Perfect.
Air, fuel, electronics.
What brand Retrex?
They're sold through Dave Andersen, the designer on the model. There's a name for them, I forget, but it's kind of like a one-off kind of build. It's like a special order kind of thing, but the guy does do them. They're pretty cool. They work, actually, the frame set on them and everything is as per the full scale.
Okay, so they are a scale gear.
They are a scale gear, yes they are, with the down locks, the rear locks, or the rear slide bars. As per a full scale Hurricane, there's two spars, a forward and a rear spar. And that's where the gear mounts to. And that's what this one does too as well.
Gotcha.
So pretty cool.
Awesome. As you can see, most models that many flyers are used to seeing have your typical Robart, Sierra gear, which do the job. They can be dolled up. They have more of a scale appearance. But when you get into a scale subject such as this, you want everything to be as accurate as possible. So having obviously a scale landing gear system definitely makes the airplane. And right now Chuck's just doing his final checks. You got to make sure everything's right on these. Like I said, this is not your off-the-shelf model. This is a one of a kind. You see, we get up closer. There's all the scale detail is just phenomenal. This is the first time I've seen the airplane completed. I've seen it a few times throughout the stages, and there is a lot that goes into this. And these are all processes that I'm very familiar with what goes into how to do it, so I can completely respect and understand the passion that it takes to build a plane like this. As you can see, is what one of Chuck's trademarks is his weathering abilities. Weathering is one of those things where it is not the hardest thing to do, but it's difficult to do it right. Most tend to have it overdone, but to get it just right is literally an art form, which takes years of practice. There's so many different techniques to do it. So you can see full cockpit interior, scale pilot, I mean everything. And there are no graphics per se on this airplane. Everything is painted. And even the detail around the fairings, every place where on the full scale aircraft that would show excessive wear and tear, it's all replicated on the model, which takes a lot of documentation to get it just right, and also just knowing and understanding what these airplanes went through back in the day when they were being used. There's just an awful lot goes into it. This is not something you can just throw together and do it quick. Okay, we're going to put some fuel into it, make sure everything is good to go, and we'll bring you back later. Okay, I know I said when we came back we were going to be getting this thing fired up, but one thing about a scale model is if you're not the one that built it, every time you look at the airplane, you're going to notice something different that you didn't see before. And I was just walking around the tail end of the airplane and noticed, even look at the counterbalance. I'm assuming that's a counterbalance on the trim tab?
You're correct.
Okay. So this is something that you're not going to see on a typical model because it's not something that's extremely visible. Like I said, I just noticed it. But all these little details are very important for an aircraft with the intent of what this one is for.
And also the horizontal on this one is removable.
Oh, the tail does come off of this.
It does.
Wow. Okay. I never would have noticed because you can't see it. So as you see on both sides, trim tab and everything. Look at the detail around the lights. Like I said, I could look at this for hours and still find things every time I look at it. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're in a competition setting. Imagine being a judge looking at this airplane. You have to provide the proper documentation so they know what to look for, and you have to be able to prove that your airplane is correct. So there is so much that goes into it. And the big thing that most probably don't realize is color. Color is very important. You can't just throw some green and some brown on there and call it a day. You have to be able to prove your color. So pretty much in the scale setting, you don't put anything on your airplane that you can't prove that was there. Okay, one more quick shot in the nose here. As you can see, everything is up front. Normally it's not where we put things, but on these types of aircraft with short noses, we need a lot of weight up front. So without adding a ton of weight, you just move as many things forward as you can.
Timer start.
Starter? I'd rather not, but
I have one. Scared it.
Yep. New airplane, new engine. They tend to be a little bashful. And this is a inline 4-stroke engine, so a very unique sound, very smooth running. I said I'm holding on to it, I can't even tell the engine's running, other than the air. Huh?
Like that, down back.
Little lean?
Let's see.
Hatch open.
Okay, so far everything is checking out good. Chuck's happy with it.
Not overpowered.
Sounds like some down trim.
Yeah, a little bit down trim.
Yep. And as everybody will notice, this is not a rocket ship. Keep in mind, this is a scale model. And part of being scale is also getting, you know, pretty accurate speeds, accurate sounds. That's all important. And it is a newer engine, so it's gonna start coming to life.
And we might have to go to a two-part.
And so far, it's looking absolutely fantastic.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
I mean, I'm over here shaking, and it's not even my airplane. It's got a beautiful presence in the air. You can't mistake a Hurricane. Boy, that engine sounds good. Got a little pitch up with flaps?
Pitch down, look for the hot down.
Oh, okay.
What I'll probably do is land without flaps.
Okay. Yeah, the Hurricane's got a pretty large and forgiving wing platform on it, very thick. And always on first flights, we don't fly them too long. We don't really rip on them. We just want to make sure everything's going to check out, get a feel for the airplane. Every airplane's different.
Got great sound, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it sounds fantastic. I think the speed is right.
Speed's good.
but a more flying prop may be necessary for a
Yeah.
future.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Gear down.
We got gear down and locked.
Nice.
1 minute.
Easy, Chuck. Easy, easy, easy. Ah. Damn.
Test landing.
Yep.
God,
It landed like a hurricane. It did not want to come down.
well, yeah, the wheel set down. I thought you were on.
Okay, right now, Chuck is willing to give us an up-close and honest feeling of a first flight where the end was not what we would prefer, but with a new airplane, you don't know what you don't know what to expect. Every plane flies different. Chuck has flown Hurricanes throughout the years, but not this one. They're all different.
They're all different.
So, thoughts on the flight?
Flight was good. Little bit of down trim required, which could be two things. I have the incidents wrong, or it's a little tail heavy.
Minus.
But
Timer stop.
in all honesty, Hurricanes flew tail heavy, so
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to change anything there. Now you notice on the, it got a little, it was real easy to bounce it a little bit.
Yeah,
so
it wanted to keep flying.
she wanted to keep flying, and with flaps on a Hurricane, as we exposed in the video, they definitely put their nose down.
Yep.
So on, what I'll do is I'll start doing a mix with the next line of flaps. I already got a prop, that's no big deal, that's the only thing I broke. So that's no big deal. The flight was relatively non-eventful. Landing without flaps on a heavy warbird, she's 54 pounds fueled, so that's always a little nerve-wracking. But all in all, she handled pretty much like a lady. No damage other than a broken prop, but I buy props, and I'm probably going to look at doing a two-blade as well to get just a little bit extra so I can throttle back and present a little bit nicer, and also have a little bit more pull drag as I come in over the fence, as they say.
Yep.
But overall, as far as test flights, I've had a lot worse.
I think we all have.
You know, yeah, we all have. You know, obviously breaking a prop on my landing is not ideal, but hell, that's nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's just throwing money at it. But and I already have it, so it's not like I have to spend more. But very stout girl. I was pretty happy with everything up until the last bounce, and I'm straight up. That's all on me, guys. That's all on me. It's nothing to do with the airplane. So that was just trying to push the nose over and find that really sweet balance on the elevator, and that was all me. That was all on me. So I'll take it. I'll take the blame, but I'll take it. Competition airplanes, they either go two ways. They go off the board, fantastic, or we're in a bag. So
Yeah.
we're not in a bag. We're good.
Yep.
But
Yeah, for a lot of my viewers that, I know the majority of my viewers follow scale because I post a lot of scale videos, especially classic stuff. But I do have some viewers that are more in the beginning stages, sport flying stages, that see these airplanes fly in competition, and you just don't understand what goes into them behind the scenes, and the fact that before we get them to Top Gun, to Scale Masters, to the Nationals, not many of us don't ding them up first, figuring things out, how they fly. We have to work out the bugs. We have to learn the airplane. As you can see on a Hurricane, that's a thick girl. That's
yeah, that's a thick wing
yeah.
on this thing.
So
And,
after that first bounce, it just wanted to keep flying. We have a corner and crosswind, which is a little, little iffy, but it's one of those things. If Chuck had already had, 20, 30 flights on there, flying it in a day like today would be nothing.
Yeah.
But like I said, we just don't know until we get them in the air. So a lot goes into these before you see them at a competition level. So for a first flight, as Chuck said, this is it's not uncommon. It's not what we like. We like to have the best.
Yeah, we want to fly it again.
Yeah, we want to fly it again, have the best flight possible. But it's going home an airplane still. And now it is officially an airplane because we all agree you can build whatever you want. It's not an airplane until the tires leave the ground.
That's right.
So-
And they left the ground, didn't they?
They left it. This thing came off the ground with authority.
Yeah. And what I really like now, especially on my IX-20 system, is all the programmable stuff I can do to tweak out all of the little things that we talked about. So, but that's all part of the process. So, man, what a good airplane. What a bad pilot. But I'll take it nonetheless. My Dauntless pretty much did the same thing on its first flight, and and I take the blame. That was on me. I loaded up after that and started taking it to flying. So I'll do the same with this one.
That's right. Well done, Chuck. It's
Thank you.
officially an airplane.
It
Looks
is.
beautiful.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
Well done, my friend.
Thank you.